Steve Barnett, thank you so much for joining us here at FundForum International.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what does your company offer in times like these? Because it's an interesting shifting geopolitical landscape out there, isn't it?
It is. Abu Dhabi Global Market is a financial centre, so we're providing people with two things really. One is a stable rule of law. So we're the first place in our region to have directly applied English common law as the basis of our legal system. So what people want primarily is a place where they're comfortable with the arrangements for contracting and for doing business. They've got to be confident in the system, and we provide them with that. The second thing that we provide them with really is a business-friendly, fast, efficient place to do business. So we pride ourselves in being able to do the things that they would do anywhere else around the world for financial services, but to do it in our region and do it easier. So we're looking to provide that safe, sound, stable place. And Abu Dhabi itself is a politically and economically stable location to do business. So that's why I think we've emerged as being the hub of preference in the MENA region for investment management, for asset management.
You talked there about the region and what it offers. What is that? How can you sum that up?
Well, I think it's easily summed up by looking at what the region has. Take Abu Dhabi in itself. We have more than $1 trillion of wealth invested around the world. We have two of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world. We have one of the highest GDPs per capita. You know, we're a centre of wealth. We've been a centre of wealth for a long, long time. And what we're now providing people with is a wealth management centre in the region. So a place where they can do business, where Abu Dhabi and the region can repatriate some of the financial services that it's previously had to do around the world. It gives another option, and people have really responded very well to that. You know, in some parts it's about product. So we've introduced products which I think are very well recognised by the region. It's the type of exposures that people want. So an example of that is that we've created the first private REIT regime in the region. And that gives people a little bit more flexibility while still giving them access to an asset class which has been right at the top of people's priorities. That's one example of it. I guess the second one would be around things like aircraft financing. You know, when the main airline producers come to you and say it's kind of strange that around 90% of the outstanding aircraft orders in the world are in your region and all the financing's done somewhere else, then it makes you realise that you should be doing something for investors which enable them to make those investments in our region.
And there's some interesting opportunities geographically in that region too, just outside Abu Dhabi itself.
Sure. I mean, we're not just doing this for Abu Dhabi and the UAE, but we're doing it as a regional play. So you know, if you look at what's around us, we sit at the heart of a $9 trillion economy, and that includes India, Pakistan, it includes sub-Saharan Africa, it includes a very large region around us, not just the GCC. And so, you know, you're providing people with access to develop in a way which is easy, swift, friendly, develop products which are specifically targeted at that region.
And you think actual geographic proximity makes a big difference there?
I do think so, yeah. And one of the things that we've seen as a trend internationally is that people are becoming less global and more local. So we've seen that as a trend that I think the US has started, but many other places have picked up, where people are looking to do things closer to home. They're looking to invest close to where they make their money, and that's something that we can offer people. It doesn't have to be in your own country or in your own backyard, but it has to be close.
And there is serious money to be made.
Oh, for sure. I mean, look at some of the opportunities around us. The best kept secret, apart from the UAE, I think, is somewhere like Pakistan, where we're looking to provide people with an opportunity in a contracting environment that they know and are familiar with, to take an exposure which is where the risk and return is actually pretty good. I mean, who knew that listed markets in Pakistan, for example, had returned around 25.3% per annum for the last 15 years, despite everything that we all think we know about Pakistan. And that's just one example of many of the things that we see going on in the region around us. Times when yields are flat or negative in some places, people want yield. And if we can provide them with easy access to yield in a way which takes away some of the risks that people are not willing to accept, then we can give them the opportunity to invest in the risks that they are willing to accept.
There are 1,400 members of the industry here in Berlin. What conversations are you hoping to have?
Well, we're already having some very good conversations. I mean, part of it is that we're new. We still think of ourselves as being one of the newest financial centres in the world. So not everybody understands that we've done the things that we've done. And so I've had conversations over the last few hours with people who are saying they're really looking to launch funds that'll give people access to our region. And they think that it's going to take 9, 12 months to establish a fund. And when we tell them that we've helped people to set up asset management companies in around a month and a fund in a few days, they're amazed. So just giving people the understanding of what's possible and trying to break some of the expected norms is really quite helpful for us.
It's a great opportunity. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.